Hello, my lovely fellow human beings out there. How y'all doing? It's Asia, the fumbling farmer, and I am here to do a late April garden tour. So I figure we start off on my back deck with kind of some of the seedlings I have going and stuff I need to get planted in. All right, let's get started. All right, so here's some stuff I planted in pots. I put some spinach out here, and this is some parsley. So I just put these out, so hopefully they'll get going. I know I planted them too late, and that's the story of my life, but that's what it is. This is arugula in here, and then some cucamelons. I can never get them to grow big, but we'll see what happens this year. These are my tomatoes that I need to get planted still. How many are there? 6. There's 6 and one that broke, and I just stuck it back into the dirt again, and we're seeing what's happening. So I'm going to get those planted at some point. I'll do a tomato planting video. Up here, oh, I should probably get some bok choy in the ground. And what's this? Basket flower and gomphrena. This is peppermint, more basket flowers, some pepper. And who are you? Oh, long purple eggplant. They're not looking so good. And this had been some Canterbury bells, but they didn't look that good either. Okay, here I have my passion fruit vines finally wrapping itself around good on that one, but this one's still getting there. I see little webs on them. You can't see them, but I saw them from outside. So I want to get those off. I think they might be like spider mites or something like that. So just rub those off. These are my tomato plants that didn't do so well. This one looks like it's coming back. This one is broken. So for whatever reason, they didn't do well. I kept them there just in case they did something, but I don't know. Here's some pepper plants. So these are peppers here. This is a toothache plant. These two. This is, ooh, those are dry as heck, but also known as pineapple ground cherries. This is broccoli I got to get into the ground sometime, even though it's really late. And this is a snapdragon. So just some random stuff out here. All right. And then I'm really happy with this planter. This is something new I added this year. So I have some lettuce. I have like all kinds of stuff. Lettuce. This is Thai basil. There's some chives in here. And then I think this is parsley up there. And then more chive. I have a little purple basil plant that kind of had a rough start. These are either like shallots or something. And this is cilantro. So I have been like breaking off these and then they're growing back in. So I've been using these already. I hate buying like a big bunch of cilantro from the store that I just need for one recipe, and then I only use half of it and the rest goes bad. So I love having fresh cilantro that I can just pick what I need and go about my day and not have to worry about the rest. All right, here is more parsley in here. I've been picking off of this and then it's just growing back again. This is another purple basil that obviously struggled itself to death. There's another chive in here. I love when I make scrambled eggs, I cut up some chives and put them in there and they taste so good. This is kale. It had gotten eaten by some caterpillars and here are some more caterpillars. The other day I went out in my brassica. Sorry, I had to throw that out. I went out in my little brassica garden and I picked off like 9 or 10 caterpillars. I gave them to my daughter to play with. And she went running out front, calling her sister, saying, "Look, I'm rich." But look at that, just on this one plant, I got 3 different ones. Okay, all right, that's that. Here's how you can tell that you have caterpillars. You see those little, let me see, round spots there in between the stems? That's caterpillar poop. So sometimes the poop is easier to see than the caterpillars. If you see the poop there, you know that you have caterpillars someplace, and then you know to look for kind of the light green of them on the stems someplace. So that's that. All right, then I have more lettuce here. So these are getting ready to start harvesting. Like I'm just going to pick out like some of the outer things and then let the inner parts still grow, and some more lettuce there. So I'm really excited to still have that lettuce. Over here is my Lord, what's it called? Hibiscus. We've had this for like 3 years now. We bring it in the winter and then bring it back out. And this is my lychee tree that I'm growing. I grew it from seed that I got from my dad. And it's getting pretty big. All right, over here, There was some beets I had planted like a while ago and they never came up, but this year I guess it had enough water and whatever to come up, so it did. This is bok choy, and these are chamomile plants. So those are just some random thing. I put some chamomile here too, but it looks like it's not doing that well down in that end. So I'll probably plant something else over there. All right. Then I have a whole bunch of these pots down here. These were like the kind of flowery shaped ones or plus sign shaped ones were supposed to be stackable. I got them from the dollar store, but I just didn't like how they work. I never could keep them watered, and there wasn't enough dirt in like the little side pockets to really plant anything. So I'm separated them and I'm trying them separately. All right, this right here, my friend gave me, my friend Cindy, and it's a native hibiscus. And I tried to grow it last year and it kind of grew kind of puny and it didn't do anything. And I thought it was dead, but I never got around to cleaning it up and throwing out the pot thing. So when I walked by this spring, I was like, wait, is that something growing? And it was actually the hibiscus was still alive and had started to sprout and had roots and everything. So I came and put it in this pot and it's really happy. So shout out to Cindy for that. All right, this right here, you see all these things? That's because a freaking carpenter bee has decided to make its hole in our porch railing there. And so it's digging it. That's all the sawdust it dug out. We should probably try to get that out of there sometime. Anyway, this is peppermint I put in here. You always want to plant mint in a pot because mint goes crazy. This is, oh, what's it? It's not caraway. This is caraway. So we'll see what happens with that. I don't know what to do with that. All right, this is heal all, which is supposed to be medicinal herb, and some orange yellow thyme that I just started from a seed. So it's kind of small. And I got 2 empty things there to do something with, and then that one to do something with. So I still have space for stuff. All right, let's see. Over here is my thyme. I cut it way, way back, and it looks really good. I'm really happy with it. And then there's a random snapdragon in there, and this is some more caraway over here. Here's our lemon tree. If y'all saw any of my tours from the winter time, we moved this in the winter. See here, all like, I don't know if y'all could see it, those webbing, I think those are all the spider mite thingies. And I just like to come and kind of make it uncomfortable for them to live there. Maybe I'll bring the broom and kind of wipe over the whole tree. They don't really cause too big a problem, but I think they can if they get out of hand. Anyway, so in the winter, it's really scary to bring this tree inside because all these, like this whole leaf branch here, all these branches were bare. Like the leaves just kept falling off. And I was like, oh my gosh, what's happening? But we moved it outside and new growth is coming up on those same leaves. And you can see there's tons and tons of flowers popping up, which is crazy. But not just that, some pretty good looking little lemon starts that I think these are the best we've seen on this plant so far. So maybe we'll actually get lemons this year. We've had this tree for a while now. I'm going to say at least 4 years. This is maybe the 4th or 5th year that we've had it. So we'll see what happens. I do let it grow as it wants to, but I also come in the winter and I will probably I like to keep it short because it has to fit inside our house too, and it has to fit on the deck reasonably too. So I'll come in and probably prune off some of these taller branches next winter. What is that? Are you anything? No, but it does have like a little infestation. All right, so that's the deck. Let's go ahead and walk on down and see what the rest of the garden looks like. Here I go, stairs and walking at the same time. Oh, you're supposed to stairs and walking and talking on stairs at the same time. There we go. All right, where do I want to start? We'll start in the garden proper, which is what I call the main. So here's kind of an overview of my little happy place. Let's walk on in together. These buckets don't officially have anything in it, or these pots don't officially have anything in it yet. Some grass. And I think this is the anise hyssop stuff. Yeah, it smells like it. So I'm going to keep that there because I don't think you can have too much. I haven't used it yet officially. Last year was my first year growing it. This is some more anise hyssop here. It has such nice soft leaves. and they smell so good and licoricey. I don't even really like licorice, but like it just smells good. All right, this is celery. It's in its second year of growing here. I've never gotten big stalks yet. It's just these little thin things. But I just left it here. I mean, it looks green and the bugs don't eat it, so I've left it here. If you look over here, this is all anise hyssop growing in here. I might let it just do its thing in here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do in this bed yet. I've been thinking green beans, but I don't have the bed set up or anything yet, so it's coming. This is another anise hyssop plant here. All right. And then this over here is my, what are you? Lemon balm. Why does lemon balm do this, y'all? It gets like this black towards the edge of the leaves. It's brown and crunchy kind of thing. I thought at once that it was because it had like got cold, and then that's what it was. But it feels like every time the leaves grow out, it hasn't been super cold lately. They're getting this, so I don't know what that's about. And then look at that. I got some strawberries that are there, and I think I got some strawberries on this side too. Some decent looking ones that are starting to blush a little bit. Look at that there. That's cute. All right. Oh, these weeds got me crazy. Okay. This bed doesn't have anything yet, so it's getting there. That's rosemary there. This is my garlic. Look at it. Doesn't it look so proud and happy just growing along in there? And I see some weeds too. This is basically how it goes. As I come out in the garden, I see weeds and I just pull them as I walk through. There's some in the middle here. Let's get those up. Okay. All right. So that's all my happy looking garlic. These things spread like crazy if you let them. So you got to get them out of there when you see them. On the other side, oh, here's some of that grass stuff. The good thing about these is they're easy to pull up relatively early on. You got to keep on top of it though. I also have some sweet alyssum growing like way over there in the corner. If I go on the other side, I'll show you. All right, this here, let's go back a little bit. So I planted my roselle here. Four plants of those. All right, these are my peas, which are not doing what they're supposed to be doing, which is kind of wrapping up here. But they look okay. I just hope it doesn't get too hot too soon. I have like a whole bunch of strawberry plants here that just kind of did their thing, and I just let them. I don't know if there's any actual strawberries in here. Yeah, I guess so, here and there. But at some point, this is going to have to be a problem I have to solve, which is pulling up all these strawberry bushes. All right, and then this is radishes. Somebody was like, put radishes and carrots in a shaker and shake them all in one place, and then the radishes are ready faster than the carrots, and when you pull the radishes up, the carrots will have extra space. It'll aerate the soil for them. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I did that, and the radishes came up like crazy, and the carrots not so much. Like this right here, these little plants, that's carrots. Okay, there's some more carrots. I mean, and I guess there's carrots interspersed in here. There's a lot of radishes, y'all. What am I going to do with all these radishes? I don't really like radishes. So there's that. I guess I'll figure out how to pickle radishes this year, if these actually come to anything. That's another thing too. I have a really hard time growing radishes. I'll show you what usually happens. It's happened to some other radishes. And then I have my second garlic red here. That's that. And this is some kind of something. It's in the mint family, but it's not mint. Oh, maybe it is mint. It smells kind of minty. Yeah, I don't know. It's something in the mint family. So I just let one thing come up. I get like little things of it popping up throughout this bed, but I just let this one grow. And another note, it's also growing down here in the path that's taken over by some more strawberries. All right. Over here, I set up this bed. It has soil in it. It's been kind of loosened up and everything. I just have to plant something in it, and I don't know what. I think I'm going to do my peppers over here. And I think I'm going to do some peppers over here. But my peppers are not big enough yet. Here's a picture of what my peppers look like. I'm just going to show you a screenshot of it because I'm not inside right now. but they're still outside. They haven't, I mean, inside, they haven't been hardened off, and they're still kind of tiny. Also, this morning was about 55 degrees, and I just don't think that's warm enough for peppers. So here, moving on, this is my feverfew. It was in this pot sitting over there, and I pulled it up, repotted it. It looked really sad, and I thought I had killed it because like it looked like really brown and gross. But it is starting to pop back a little bit, so I'm glad about that. Feverfew is supposed to be good for a lot of stuff medicinally. Something ate my strawberry. I'm so annoyed. I knew, but it's my fault. I knew I should have covered them, but here we are. My first strawberries got eaten. Let's pluck this off. And they don't even eat the whole thing. That's the thing that annoyed me. Like, they just take a little bit and then are like, bye. Oh, here's a good red one. Okay, I'm gonna give this to my videographer. You ready? You can put it inside and it'll, or you could eat it now, really, if wash it and eat it, or you can put it inside and let it get a little redder. Eating it now. Anyway, so yeah, these strawberries are starting to pop up. Maybe I'll get a little baggie. I have little baggies that I can put on them to kind of keep the birds and everybody from trying to eat them. So I'll do that. And again, this bed is not set up yet. I have to turn it over, loosen up the soil a little bit, and I have to figure out what I'm doing with the strawberries again. Like, the strawberries did not grow well where I wanted them to grow, which was back in that bed there, but they went all over everywhere else. So thanks a lot, strawberries. These are Cosmos, so I just left them in there. How is it? A little squishy, but not bad. Okay. All right, here we have my blueberry bushes. And here are the blueberries to prove that they are blueberry bushes. Right now they're green berries, but soon they'll be blueberries. Again, I have to put those little baggies over these, otherwise we will get none of them. So maybe that'll be a task for today, is to kind of put the baggies over the biggest bunches of blueberries. Here we have, are you alive, honey? Oh, you are. Okay, that's good. Here we have a ladybug larvae. I've found tons of those over my garden this year, so I'm really happy about that. This is my second blueberry bush. I don't think it did as well as that other one because a lot of these don't look that big. So, but oh, there's some little bunches down there. And then this one here has a lot of bunches, but a lot of those spider mite thingies too. Wonder how I get rid of those. Like, this is crazy. Lots of blueberries there. But they look kind of small. And I don't know if it's the type of plant, but these leaves are really big and these leaves are really small. So, or I don't know if it's like a fertilization issue or something like that. So I don't know. We'll see. All right, here we have my taters. It's hard to see with all the other weed, but all this are potatoes. It's bending back a little in here. They're kind of falling over. So I do kind of want to pick them up and push them back up, but I have to get some string and see if I can do that. But they're so far there, I think they're doing pretty good, considering I just randomly planted them and found them on my grocery shelf and all that stuff. Okay, mint and more mint and oregano. This oregano has a weed in it. Oh, my oregano's not looking good either. I dug it all up and repotted it. This one looks okay, but these ones look rough. So I don't know what's going on with these. Okay, anyway, I'll let it figure its life out. This is garlic chives. I should probably cut this and dry it and grind it up or something at some point.
Wait, what's that?
Garlic chives. All right, and this is the path that once was. It's now taken over by strawberry plants. And there are some strawberries in there. Oh, here. This one's definitely not ripe yet, so take it inside and put it in your pocket. You have a squash strawberry in there. Okay. All right, that's that. All right, let's go over here. We have some artichoke. So this is my artichoke plant. Why? I don't know, just to see if I can. Some more lettuce that I planted out here. And then there's a bunch of onions and leeks in this bed. And some more lettuce. I think these are all weeds growing up in between there. I got to pull out. I think I'm going to grab my broccoli and put my broccoli back here too, because I got to plant it. Okay, this is the bed that I come to and get caterpillar rich. So there's parsley there, there's Swiss chard, there's one small plant there, and there's one plant that's going to seed right here. So let's go caterpillar hunting together. Okay, first of all, look at my kohlrabi, y'all. That's a little kohlrabi happening right there. You see that? I don't know what I'm going to do with it when it happens, but I definitely got some caterpillar stuff going on here.
What slugs?
Nah, slugs don't come up this far. Slugs are with the little baby plants. Yeah. Alright, I don't see any fresh caterpillar stuff here, but I feel like they're here somewhere because look at my leaves, man.
Hey, I found one.
Okay, pick it off. So I'm not seeing any caterpillars on this one. But here's
It's
another
a green
little
one, Mama.
Yeah, they're green. These are cabbage moth butterfly caterpillar thingies. Yep, here we go. So that's what we're getting off of here. They do blend in pretty well to the plant's leaves. You better not put them on another one of my plants. My kids got jokes, y'all. All right. I'm just going to keep inspecting these plants. Oh, come here. I got another one for you.
They're really cute. Oh, it's a tiny one.
Here's another one. Oh, here's another two. Here, get those two.
Here, get up, buddy.
One, and then the big one. Two.
Oh, it was a good cocoon.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Caterpillar rich. I guess
Oh,
that's...
this is where Nyla got hers.
This is where Nyla got all the caterpillars from the other day. Yep. All right. Let me look out in here for any. So this cabbage moth loves brassicas. So it's going to be all over these plants. So if you're ever looking for caterpillars, Anissa, for whatever strange reason, then you can come out and look here. Oh, here's another one. Here. Can you grab it? Okay.
I really watched it just poop out.
Yeah. That is kind of yucky. All right, but I'm hoping that these little kohlrabi thingies can bulb up a little bit more, because that's the part that you eat, is this bulby part here, but I think it's supposed to get bigger than that. All right. These are, I think, Brussels sprouts. And it looks like something's eating them too, but I don't want this whole video to be me searching for caterpillars, which it could very well turn into. So anyway, that's that. So those are Brussels sprouts there. And then beyond the Brussels sprouts, there is kale. And I did eat some. Here, I got another one. Okay, come here.
Welcome to the family.
Okay. All right. I've been eating from this bunch of kale. But it looks like the new growth has some caterpillar stuff going on. So is there a caterpillar anywhere on here? Not that I see. Sometimes I miss them. I really should be coming out here every day to hunt for caterpillars, but I don't. And that's why the plants look like they look. So anyway, anywho, that's that. That's the Swiss chard again from the other angle. Look how cool that looks down there. That's so random. And then it'll grow up and then it'll flower there. So that plant's pretty much done for. The other one is there. When I pull it up, I'll pull it up after it flowers, but I like to have random flowers. And that's that. Okay. Oh, here's my fig tree. So it's doing its thing back here. It just gets dappled sunlight, so I don't really expect it to do super duper much. It was just like a little stick that I put in the ground like 2 years ago. I think this is my 3rd year with it. I'm not expecting to really get any figs just yet. I think it needs to get bigger still. And then my irises are blooming. Look how pretty. Irises are my mama's favorite flower, and they are really pretty and intricate, and just every time you look at them you see something different, so they are pretty. Okay, let's keep going. So again, I don't know what I'm doing with this bed. This is a bed with the celery down at the end. I think I'm putting beans in here, but I have to set up the bed first. I have a bunch of bags there I could do something with. I don't know what yet. All right, let's keep going now to the sprawling part of the garden where it's kind of extended. So this is my tomato trellis that I built 2 summers ago. Like last summer I built it. Yeah, whatever. I don't know time. But this is my second planting season with it. So I changed out all the hooks. I had just regular string before. I changed out all the hooks to these type of hooks so that as the plants grow, I could take the hooks and move them over to kind of stretch out their growing space, and it'll kind of move in a circle around the 2 trellises. So eventually the plants will circle around, but it'll like refresh their space. All right, so there are some weeds down in the bottom, but I did also plant, I just threw like some marigold seeds, that's those 2, and some basil seeds, just randomly. I think that's marigold there. I think those are weeds. There's a mixture of weeds and basil here, and some more basil here. And then I threw some purple basil leaves also, or seeds. So those are there. So there's definitely a bunch of weeds in here too, but there's also definitely a bunch of basil in here too, which I was really nervous about because it took a while for it to germinate. And I was like, oh my gosh, where is it? All right, that's a, okay. And get that out by the root. So I gotta get through here. Once the basil gets bigger, I'm gonna put some straw mulch down here, but I wanted to let that grow first. So right now I'm coming through and just pulling out the other little weeds. All right, last year I planted both rows of tomatoes at the same time, and those ones ended up being short a little bit. So the ones in the front grew quicker because they get more sunlight, and they kind of outshone the ones in the back. And so the ones in the back did okay, but they never got off to a good start. So this year I planted these back tomatoes out about 2 years ago, Lord, not that long, 2 weeks ago. And I'm just going to given them a little time. I think I'm planting my front row out today is the plan. So that's that there. That's what's different in my tomato bed. Okay, I'm glad you saw a cat. All right, in here I put some cucumber seeds, but I'm also going to plant some cucumbers inside too, and just see if I can get some germinated in there. And this is going to be where my future jalapeno patch is. I like to plant the spicy peppers away from the sweet peppers. So, because sometimes if they can like get cross-pollinated, and then you have spicy sweet peppers, which is not cool, or sweet spicy peppers, which is also not cool. So this is where I have to obviously like clean them out, unweed them, refresh the pots, and do all that. All right, this is Anissa's flower garden, and we pulled up some weeds, but there's still more growing as always. Why are weeds like so easy to grow, but other plants are like meh? But she did come through here and dig everything up. There's some black-eyed Susans left in here. They do take over, so she left 1 or 2 plants, but they will take over again. Those were like little daffodil thingies, jonquils or something. Those are some like lyanthus or something like that. I put some, oh, what's that thing called? It starts with a C. Canterbury bells and a basket flower over there. And I also put some gomphrena right there. But I think I'm going to get some seeds, like a butterfly mix or something, and just sprinkle it in the rest and see how it goes. So we'll see. Okay, and then we also have to clean up all their mess from the stuff too. And then we have over here Nyla's garden. She has some sunflowers. She has lamb's ear. There are these morning glories. We had morning glories planted, so the morning glories come up all over the place too, which we don't really want, so I try to keep those pulled out of there. This is yarrow that she put in here, and this is heal all. There's some more. This is a warning too. If you do plant morning glory, they are very pretty, but also they will keep coming up forever. Okay. And then she has some chamomile in here and some Canterbury bells as well. I thought, oh yeah, and that's Gomphrena in the back there. So I also put some gladiolus, what are they called? Bulbs in those two blank places. So we'll see if those come up. And then over here I have some orange yellow thyme, and this is supposed to be a butterfly pea, but it's not really doing too much, so I don't know what's the deal with that. But those two are right there. All right, then here is a hydrangea. I have to come out here and just trim off those little fuzzy parts because those are the centers of the flowers on the clematis. So I have to come out here and trim off the spent blooms so that hopefully we'll get another blooming. And then I have to dig up this bed and reset it too. It does have some cosmos. I had this all filled with cosmos last year. So it has some cosmos coming up here and there, but it also has a lot of weeds in it. And then look at my sweet little peach tree, y'all. It's actually like peaching over here. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? Look at that. Just some peaches, peaching along. So this is my first year it's actually set fruit. I got it from my neighbor, and he, but because he was moving, but he gave them to me in like July. So the plant really struggled to establish itself the first year. And then last year it kind of was just chilling. And this year is the first year I've gotten any kind of fruit, but it is a tiny tree. So I know I have to pick off some of those peaches so that it doesn't tax the branches too much. But I am just tickled by them. Okay. Oh, look at my roses. This is a popcorn rose bush. That's what it was called because of the color of them. It kind of looks like buttery popcorn of those roses. Those are really pretty. And then I have a bunch of stuff coming up here. There's another one of those ladybug larvae thingies. You see it? This plant also gets caterpillars. The girls look for caterpillars here, but it gets like the brown caterpillars and not the green ones. There's some dahlias, some lilies, some... Yeah, do they have aphids this year? I'm hoping with all the caterpillar larvae, what do you call ladybug larvae we've had, that we won't have as much of an aphid problem. That is, I think it's echinacea, but it might just be something else. Anyway, a whole bunch of lambs here. There's some black-eyed Susan there. There's some yarrow there. Some gladiolus in the back. I tried putting sage over there, but I don't think it's too happy. And this is like some kind of ornamental onion allium thingy. All right, this in here are snapdragons. I've been slowly like thinning them out, but specifically I've been trying to dig them up a little bit and take the bigger ones and just put them in other spots in the garden that kind of have holes in it that need something to fill it in. So I have been doing that, and then I come along every once in a while and pull the weeds out because it needs that too. It'll get to the point eventually where it's big enough that the weeds don't have the energy to grow. Then over here we have more hydrangeas, lots of hostas coming up. This is kind of a shady garden. Like this patch gets sunlight, but all that over there is mostly in the shade. So look at my pretty foxglove blooming. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. So that's in a pot. And I've had a lot of success with foxgloves in a pot. So I think I want to plant some more and just put them in pots like this because they seem to do really well. There is some yarrow planted down there, but this is and a random dahlia that I tried to dig up, but then I was like, Lord, the roots are way too deep. So I just left it. Bachelor's buttons in here. So that's coming along. And then these just do really well in the shade. These are like, you know, the Lenten roses or hellebores, whatever you want to call them. So those do well here. But then this giant hosta loves it here. And it's actually getting to the point where it's like blocking the pathway and we're going to have to fight to get through. I probably need to come and trim off some of those branches there. All right, this is a balloon flower. I love them. And creeping Jenny. I can't say it normal. I have to say it like Forrest Gump. Jenny. So those are coming in there. This are more bachelor buttons, but also some sweet alyssum in there. This is a delphinium, I think. Does that make sense? So I have that growing there. And this is something or other. I don't know what it is, but it's like that filler plant that you find, but it has just the nice leaves and it actually stays all winter and stuff, and it's a nice contrast plant. So maybe I'll pull it up a little too so it's not as shaded. Over there, look at all those little critters running for their lives now. Sorry, guys. Okay, this is allegedly calendula, but it don't look like no calendula leaves I've ever seen before. But I'm letting it grow and seeing what happens. Maybe. I don't know. I thought it was dill, but then it doesn't smell like dill. All right, there's more snapdragons here. I don't know if you've realized, but snapdragons are my favorite. And there's some more sweet alyssum in here too. Okay, let's go on this side. We have another one of those giant plants growing here. Another one of the foxgloves in a pot. I should probably move it out someplace because it's kind of squashed. Some more hostas, my rosemary, some more radishes. So I'm trying to grow some damn radishes. I don't even know why, because I don't even like radishes. But at this point, it's like a matter of pride. Like, you're going to grow, okay? I planted some coleus, I think it's called, around here. But so far, I don't see any of the bulbs coming up. I just see weeds coming up. What else is in here? There's some gladiolus in here. There's that ornamental onion thingy again. These are all those big mallow plants. So this one here, there's one there, and there's one on the other side there. And then some more hydrangeas, some more lilies, bleeding heart plant, this giant thing here. I'm trying to grow some freaking lupine. These are lupine seeds here I planted. I planted that one, and I planted another one that I don't see. It's been struggling underneath this thing. So this is rosemary. I cut my rosemary plant way back. I could probably cut this off someplace around here too, but I cut it way back because it was looking crazy, and it's kind of coming back. We'll see what happens. This is its last stitch though. I'm letting it hear me say this. If it doesn't do well this summer, I'm digging it up and planting something else here. But this yarrow looks nice. I love how nice and fuzzy it looks. And back there are Shasta daisies. And those always look really nice. They come blooming up. And it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So that's kind of cool. And another hydrangea back there. I like this little moment right here. But then you look over the whole thing and it's kind of plain. So I'm kind of trying to get the rest of this to look like this. Now, if those coleus thingies come up around the bird feeder, it'll look really good. But that's the if. So we'll see. All right, let's go to my favorite. This is my favorite little garden space. It's also the smallest little garden space, so it's the easiest. But it just makes me happy every time I come home. Here we go. My little mailbox flowers. Aren't they cute? All right, so they need water. Don't judge me. But I have in here these little flowers. I call them fire flowers. I don't know what they're called. Celosia, maybe. Then I have my snapdragons. This one's ready to be cut off so that this can bush out a little more. And these snapdragons, look how beautiful. They're like flaming pink sunsets. So pretty. This is more Anis hyssop. In the fall, it'll have purple spiry thingies. This is another like flower that sets up flaming looking bulb thingies. There's some more snapdragons here. Sedum will be pink flowers in the fall. There's some gladiolus growing back there. And then these are more lilies. So that's kind of my little thing I see every time I come home and pull into the driveway. And I just love snapdragons. They're so stinking pretty. Like, look at that. Look at that. It just makes me happy. Okay. Anyway, let me show you one last thing. I'm going to show you, what happens to my radishes all the time. I try. I really do try. And I don't know what it is. I've tried planting them at different times. I don't know what it is. Okay, so here we go. First, This is my final little garden bed. There is chrysanthemums growing in there. Shout out to my friend Cindy again. I love this hosta because I love the variegated leaves. It looks so pretty. There's some like little vinca vines growing in there. I really love the variegation of this hosta. I don't know. There's some sedum in there, some calla or canna lilies. I could never tell which one's which. There's a dahlia there. There's an azalea there. So this is a cute little garden moment too. I ain't mad at this. All right, those are sunflower seeds in that. So we'll see how they do. But over here, freaking radishes. This is what they do to me, right? They're going to seed. If I pull them out, ain't nothing there. Nothing. Look at that. Where's the radish? Not there. 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 Nope. Still no. Double no. See, that's what it does to me all the time. And I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like, even this, like it grows above the ground like that. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Right? Why aren't you growing lower? Anyway, so that's that. There's actually some random beets in here too. That's what these are. So we'll see how those do. But also beets I haven't been able to be successful with. But like these radishes, right? Like, why is it growing with the purple part above the ground? Should I come in and cover that? Do I need to cover that? Because I feel like I need to cover that. But anyway, that's my issue. So lots of stuff going good in the garden that I'm happy about, and some things that obviously could be worked on, radishes. But thank you for going on this tour with me today, and I hope that your garden is growing well and that it continues to prosper. Happy gardening, y'all.